about the implications of Dvaita Darshana for strengthening survival instincts in dire periods. Dire periods I have used from situations, because periods means like a long periods of period consists of many situations, like centuries, millennia, like that. Therefore, I have changed the word to periods. So we will see in the last 500 years, we will just take the previous 500 years, major three events, and we have some very good examples of Bhakti Sampradaya, and which originated from the Dvaita Darshana. Uh, Dvaita Darshana. So the next slide is the world for Dvaita Darshana. There are two very crucial things which says that the world is the present world that you are present at this point of time is true, because you have to deal with it. Okay, and the present world consists of you, that is Jivatma. Again, you can further go in Jiva and Atma. Those things are, we will not go into detail there. So what are the factors affecting these jivas? So the factors affecting are panchabhutas. So they are inanimate objects, uh, inanimate panchatatvas, of which we are also made up of. So they, that is one of the main factor. The other factors which can also physically interact with us are the other jivas. Out of that, there is another jiva. There is a very crucial factor, that is the Manushya jivas. The Manushya jivas, within our Manushya jivas, there are many jivas with beliefs. So I am using here the word belief, because actually we should say dharma and other things. But the other, there are many other Manushya groups which are only in belief. So it is non-shastra based uh, beliefs. Therefore, those jivas, if we do not study those jivas with the beliefs, and if we only keep ourselves busy, so that is going to cause again a problem. So, so present these three factors. What is generated from this? Mitru Bodha is generated and Shatru Bodha is generated. So if we if we understand the Mitru Bodha and Shatru Bodha, then we can actually predict dire situations before they arrive to us, well in advance. That is what now consists of all this geopolitics and all these scenarios. Okay, when we consider the interactions of the nations. So we'll see some of the dire situations from the past. So we'll not go into like small events. We'll take a major events which affected larger geographies. So what are the major events in last 500 years was pertaining to the southern peninsula was the Sri Krishna Devaraya Rajya. So when it was flourishing, we know that we today still see the large amount of temples those were built. Okay, so then the another was Devgiri Samrajya. Devgiri comes near near the central Maharashtra, Aurangabad part. Okay, so this was destroyed in 12th century. So they were completely unaware of the things which they were going to face. Then there is a detailed availability of historical records from Sri Krishna Devaraya period, Devgiri period, and later again the formation of the Hindavi Swarajya. This word is not used deliberately in the presentation, but we should start using this word. So because Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj never called it a Maratha Samrajya or Peshwe Samrajya or like Maharashtra Samrajya. He called it a Hindavi Swaraj. So this starts from 1646 to 1818. This is a quite a considerable period of time. So during this period, post Shivaji Maharaj, there was a brutal death of Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj in 1689. Then after this period, we see again some of the in the smaller instances, we see 1920, post 1947, 1948, 1989, and now recently 2024, even in Bangladesh. So in this situation, what happened was the main administrative machinery or the main kings were taken out. They were their main administration was brutally destroyed, and and post that brutal destruction, there was nothing that people could understand to follow their own faith or their own dharma. So during this period, many of the dharmic Sanatani people were under dilemma whether they did something wrong or there is not e- enough bhakti in their daily routines towards their devatas. So these were the questions also in the like in the psychological dimension of each person. So during this period, many people blamed only the kings or some of the groups and such and such. Then there are many other theses we can go. However, at the moment we'll focus only on the main. So these wars, if you see, they are driven by ideological beliefs. So any war, depending on a small resource, finishes. It doesn't last for long, but the ideological warfare, they last for millennia and millennia. However, du- during the same period, we see that Dvaita Darshana, which says Hari Sarvottama. So Dvaita Darshana, one of the strong principle of Dvaita Darshana is Hari is Sarvottama. When there is a tat- Tattva, Sri Hari, so he is Sarvottama. So therefore, many people uh, did not leave their bhakti. So during this period, we see ra- again the rise of Bhagwan Jagannatha, Sri Venkateshwara, Sri Panduranga, Vithoba. Even this Sri Venkateshwara, Sri Panduranga, Vithoba, this kshetra was under brutal invasions, under dire consequences. So even there was a rampage of things. Since small children are there, I want to mention. So, and then there are many Kshetra Daivas, like we say Kshetrapal, and like some of the Marathas, we have Jyotiba, and depending on the Shaiva Paramparites. Then we have Ramayana and Mahabharata, which is Itihasa. It is this also gives us a foundation that whenever there is a asura arising, if we do our proper karma, there will be a complete abolishment of the asuras and we regain the dharmas. So now from these events, what we see. So now, for example, now in Bangladesh, there is a situation. It is complete darkness. From last 500 years of these examples, what I have mentioned. So we are going to think what really how India is still saved and how we are still able to perform our duties and we are able to still teach the dharma to our next generation. And it is not only in the present Southeast Asia, that is India, but even in Fiji, Trinidad, you see many major temples and bhakti people are continuing their bhakti. So what 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 leads after the immense bhakti is a total surrender to Sri Hari. And this, so when many people come to these temples and this like Panduranga, Vitobas and Jagannatha Puri, Venkateshwara, there you see a large gathering. It's a immense gathering, and it is throughout the year at some places. So this generates strong sense of belonging. This generates a strong sense of togetherness. So these two events, so these two psychological awareness or a consciousness that we are belonged by Sri Hari or we belong to Sri Hari, like we are the instrument of Sri Hari. Okay. So this generates not only togetherness, but it also generates belonging. Belonging means that somebody is also going to take care of us, and also we have to take care of them. So take care of Sri Hari. We have certain duties towards Sri Hari. So that is what I feel. I don't know how it is in deeper shastras. So now this leads to these two things leads to this is a very good amalgamation or what you can say a foundation stones for generation of strong potential of a social movement. So now we have to harness this potential. Whether there was a moment when Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj met Sant Tukaram and they spent some time to talk together, a day or two, not much. In that, Shivaji Maharaj mentioned Shivaji. That time, I think that time he was not still coronated. So he mentioned that if this is the if Sriyaji is Sarvatama, then I want to understand it further. I want to realize the Brahma Tattva, and I should stay with you only. However, at that time, Sant Tukaram mentions him that you are the instrument of Sri Hari, so you cannot leave what you are doing, and I will continue this path, but you continue this path. So therefore, we have to harness the strong potential of social movement, and many of the Matadish and Acharyas have to do this job. That if somebody comes from the other dimensions of life where they are the instrument of present social administration, so we have to give them directions that they have to do what they are doing best. So from this there are some questions or some things that we have to think. What are the variables that may affect the outcome of the bhakti? One is that we what are the instruments of belief? Instruments of belief are through shastras, through bhakti, through temples. If we don't have temples and shastras, we won't understand it. Then we have to increase these numbers. Only we attaining moksha is one dimension. However, we have to increase these numbers, and we have to make them understand. And there should be a consciousness. There should be a consciousness of that jiva is the instrument of Hari. This is required in the dire situation. This consciousness is required, that because the world is real and we are jiva, and to make this world better, we are the instrument of Hari. And if Hari guides us, we have to do things that like what Shivaji did or now what Prime Minister is trying to do. So then, if these are correct, then this will lead to i- individual motivation, which further goes to family, social, national, and international. So this has a potential to create a boundary independent Rashtra. So many people say that Bharata was conquered or Bharata was never Bharata or India was born only in 1947. But because of this consciousness, we are boundary independent Rashtra, and therefore always Bharata bounces back. Many other countries, they are destroyed, their faiths are gone, but we are still present and we are still going to further thrive. So therefore, this always gives bhakti, always gives us, always tells us that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. However, we need to realize ye- realize the instruments that are present with us. So I just gave a small example here, but we all have to realize what we are best at and how we can use those instruments to motivate others in our circle or expand this circle. So the a little bit far, I mean, a conclusion could be that bhakti generates strong sense of belongingness and social togetherness. Bhakti, along with Shastra Gyan, whether it can be more potent. Like many of the people who are in Bhakti, they may or may not understand Shastra. So the question is whether some of the Shastra Gyan will further potentiate it. So these two senses of consciousness will form the foundation that a person will never submit to the asuras, and he will not commit suicides, or he will not leave the battleground, or he will not leave his home, or at least he will save the temples and the instruments of Sri Hari. So thank you, that is the one thing.
I think
So
the last slides are there. Some more slides.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was using on the phone.
Okay.
Yeah, I shifted to the computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So please share the slides also. In the
Yeah, I will share the slides. And if we have 2 minutes, I want to show you some things.
Okay.
We have 2 minutes. So we have been doing, like I recently got connected 3 months ago to one of the Gurukulas in Hepalli. So now there we have one of the largest telescope of within Hubli Dharwad, and he is Acharya Pawan Golsangi. So some of the, can you see the photos?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So these are some of the activities that he is performing with the neighboring schools and colleges, and yeah. So he is good in the Nakshatra Shastra. So we are starting this Ashwa Vidya also. And yeah, so you can visit this place anytime. We are trying to, so we want to call it as a scientific Gurukulam, although I know that all the Gurukulams are scientific only. However, this is a, what do you say, to use this word in the corporate world. And now recently in Rain, their Goshala was destroyed, and with your lot of people came forward, and we now he has a proper Goshala also.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah, thanks, Avinash.
Yeah.
So I just have some inputs.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. You can stop the sharing.
Yeah, just 1 minute. Today I just visited there.
Okay.
I wanted to show you the new Goshala. Unfortunately, I got the slides from him very late.
Please share with me also. Is separately
Yeah.
to me directly.
Okay.
Goshalas.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
So from your slides, right? The main topic. This topic, right? What I can, I can able to importantly note that you said Mathadishas has to their role is very much important today. It's very much relevant today because they have to they have to segregate or they have to distribute. I mean, they have to distinguish what exactly Bhakti Yoga, what is Karma Yoga. Means if somebody comes to them and they were talking about spirituality, so many,
means I was very happy to see one of the Pejawar Swami or one of the Swamis in the January 22 Rama Pratisthapane. So it is all required.
So means they have to tell them what is their karma, what is their duty.
Exactly.
They can't. They may not be, in the path of whatever the Swamiji is doing, like doing puja, doing sanctity stuff.
Because
they don't need to be there. They don't need. Everybody can't be into that activities. The people should identify their vihita karma or swadharma, and they should identify whom they are aligned, like administratively or spiritually or business perspective or service perspective. So these they need to identify, and they have to do it for the sake of Vishnu Prerana, Vishnu Prityartham. For the sake of Vishnu Prityartham means for the sake of God.
This is also
God's
it is
love,
also very well put in
to,
Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, if they need to die in the borders in an army, they should do it because that's also it will also lead to the moksha because they are going to follow the vihita karma. So that's what you are very
even
much,
in Bhagavad Gita it says if you are following a karma, your task at hand, and you know that you are not 100% in it, but you have been doing it for a certain period, and you know that it is going to bring some fruit to the society to some extent, so you should do it.
Yeah, whatever you feel it is as a righteousness, you should do it.
I mean, whatever you feel, again there is a the conscious person.
But only the addition from the Madhwa philosophy or Dvaita philosophy is that they have to do it for the sake of God's love. Hari is love. Vishnu Prityartham. That's what the distinction. That's a one thing. Second part, as these been, if the people today, as you said, many invasions, right? It may be related to the Islamic invasions, or it may be relating to the Western capitalistic invasions. It's not a right. I mean, traditional wars. They are not going through the. They are not coming. They are not doing invasions with the rules of the wars. They are using some other way. They are cheating. They are using some other tools.
Soft fifth generation warfare, information warfare.
So the
trade warfare.
Mahabharata, as you said in Mahabharata, right? Mahabharata is very much message is there that Bhima killed Dushasana very brutally. It's not as part of the rules of the wars. Even Duryodhana, Bhima killed Duryodhana.
Like
so
below the belt,
not part of the rules. Arjuna killed Karna. Yudhishthira killed Drona. But they are not what the way they have killed, right? It's not as per the rule book. As per the rule book of the war. But means they are Mahabharata is giving a message. They are Mahabharata giving a message to us that we have to play the same way.
The language they understand. The language they understand. So we cannot do Shastrartha with somebody who doesn't understand
somebody
Shastra.
Is coming with the capitalism, we have to fight with them capitalism. GDP way itself. Or if it is they are coming with the population, right? Means they are bombarding with the population, then we have to use the numbers only.
That's why.
So this is how the the Mahabharata gives us the message. Actually, it's a very nice presentation, Avinash. Thanks for this wonderful presentation. Now we can go
you
to
for
the
opportunity.
Yeah, thanks. Now we can go to the ending prayer. Shrish, Videsh, Gautam.
Yes. Hari Sarvottama, Vayu Jivottama.
हरिसर्वोत्तम
श्रीमन्मध्वमते हरि